Welcome back to the AI Ripple Effect podcast, everybody. Today, we're lucky enough to be joined by Armenak Shahbazian, who is the president and co-founder of POLO 4PL. Welcome to the podcast, Armenak.
Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate you having me on here.
Well, it's great to have you here, and I know that you're a busy person, so thanks for taking the time. So why don't we start by you giving us a little bit about your background and how you've got to where you are today, a little bit about POLO 4PL and who you serve as a customer base.
So back in 2015, started off just dispatching for a few of my family, friends, and uncles, moving their 18-wheelers coast to coast. And I partnered up with one of my partners, Dennis. We got into owning our own fleet, purchased our own tractors and trailers, and hiring drivers and doing all the back end work for all that, picking up the loads. And we dealt with a lot of freight brokers. And then during COVID, right when COVID hit, we got in warehousing. We did a lot of fulfillment into the warehousing sector out in Long Beach. And then we slowly learned how to do container drayage, which we picked up containers from the port, brought it to our warehouse, transloaded, put it onto our semis, and took it to another state. After shortly realizing that just owning the assets and having the overhead was just something that wasn't in our expertise. We were more of sales, and we believed that we had the knowledge and skill to be able to just communicate with both parties. So we sold off our assets, came back to Glendale, started POLO 4PL 20. This is 2021 now, end of 2021, and we just started fully brokering and freight forwarding, moving shipments for our customers and importers, and helping our vendors, trucking companies, contracting warehouses out through all the major ports in the country now. And we are getting into international and air and ocean. And I mean, it's been great 4 years now, and we're doing the whole supply chain from ocean, air, customs clearance, drayage, container pickups, warehousing, and over the road. So
Awesome.
It's been a fun ride.
Awesome. That's fascinating. And are you serving multiple verticals, or is it a specific industry from a freight forward perspective you're looking at?
Everything and anything we can get our hands on and help anyone out. With 30 staff members here, 20 sales agents, and we're all about customer service and communication.
Awesome. Voice of the customer. That's great. And obviously, you've gone on a journey. You've touched various points in the logistic industry. Now focusing on that particular freight forward sector. What are your views, and what are you seeing from the perspective of trends in the market? Talking about labor market pressures, process efficiency, cost optimization, tariffs. What are the key themes you're picking up on?
I'm definitely seeing a lot of people panicking about tariffs, and the stability is not there. It could change with one tweet away. Tariffs could spike up. I see a lot of energy movements, a lot of solar panels, energy products, containers holding these just like mining rigs as well. So I see a lot of people getting into the energy sector. I see a lot of newer brands, apparel brands, e-commerce brands popping up. And a lot of people are just trying to get out of the Asia market and venture off into different countries to see how they could bring product in without taking the penalty fees. And some people are actually looking to manufacture in the States. It's just they're having a hard time getting up. So we are helping a lot of our customers bring in these machines, these big machines, and trying to set up manufacturing facilities in the United States. So those are some of the things on top of my head I could tell you right now.
Right, it's an interesting dynamic. You're moving big machinery into the US. So then there'll be, I assume, a big export push, and you'll help to export those products out, maybe. That's interesting. And in that
Definitely.
ecosystem of change and variation that you're seeing, and more broadly in logistics, what is your take on artificial intelligence as a positive force to optimize productivity, costs, etc., or a disruptive force maybe in the space of workforce?
So, positive note, we mandatory, if you're working at POLO 4PL, you have to know how to use AI, ChatGPT, or any LLMs that help you understand specific documents, help you how to just communicate on an email, just basic stuff. But it is helping all of us grow. It is teaching us things to do like a coach. I wrote this email, for example, can you please refine it? And then it shows the person how to communicate less aggressively or a little bit more patient on that end, so not to offend anyone or any team members. Negative approach is I feel like a lot of people are trying to depend on it too much, where that customer service aspect gets lost, especially in transportation, where it's very important when the customer just needs to pick up the phone, or even our vendors or drivers just needs to vent with someone and talk to someone and just figure something out rather than just an automated cookie cutter system. So there
Right.
are pros and cons. Definitely, I see where they could implement into automating, but not everything for sure.
Sure. No, I understand, and I think some systems out there tend to engender a sort of robot rage when you can't get the right answer out of an overly friendly chatbot, right? So
Yes. Yep. Like, I
that's a really
need
good.
to find the location. Where is it? Who do I speak to? Like, just quick. So
Yeah.
sometimes it gets frustrating.
Yeah. So in your journey to date to where you've gotten, you've gone through a change process where you had the assets and now you're focusing on the brokerage side. What have been the key challenges that you've encountered and how have you overcome those as a leader?
Key challenges is one thing for us definitely is a lot of our staff members were separated into departments and they were just focused on their departments and they were using their own tools or their own sheets or their own communication system and everyone had their own teams. What helped us improve definitely is getting everyone together, getting everyone on the same page, allowing them to understand what everyone's doing in each role, even if they're in a different department, so they could understand that, hey, if there is a bottleneck, where do they go back to fix that bottleneck, or who is accountable for what? So like that defeats just I can't think of that word, but it defeats the miscommunication and the bottlenecks. So definitely that we got all on the same page, all on one software now, and everybody's just in sync with each other, and things flow a lot smoother now as the team knows and we're as one.
And that sort of transition from maybe manual or disjointed teams or data sets, are you adopting more and more tech? Is your tech stack growing? Are you leveraging AI in that tech stack to make things optimal?
We're trying to leverage AI right now to make it optimal, but the tech stack is unfortunately growing. We do have our in-house software, but that in-house software, if you keep adding the bells and the whistles, it takes time, but our tech stack is definitely growing. But just the crucial stacks, like we have our simple CRM, our communication tool, which via Slack, WhatsApp, WeChat for the international communication, and then we have our TMS, in-house TMS, which we converted to POLO X, and the reason being is to get all in one into that software, but it's not that easy. It's not that
No,
easy to
sure.
stack in one.
Sure. Okay. So for POLO 4PL, you've come through this journey, you've overcome those challenges, and you're poised for growth in the new market. What are your plans for the next 12 to 24 months from a milestone perspective for POLO 4PL's growth journey?
Our growth journey is just full metal to the pedal. We're in recruit phase. We're trying to bring in as many people as we can under one roof in-house. We're not outsourcing, we're not offshoring anything. We are trying to bring in individuals that are hungry, motivated, disciplined, and even if they're not, we want to teach them how to be like consistent and disciplined, to create a career for them, to grow, just to show them the old basic ways to communicate and service our customers. So our next goal in the next year is to grow up to an X amount of sales agents in-house to complement our services and our software to grow this company to the next level we're aiming for.
So now that you've been on your journey over the last period and you've learned those lessons and overcome those challenges, I ask this a lot to my audience. It's a hypothetical question. With that hindsight, that benefit of the hindsight, and if you had a time machine and were able to go back, say 12 to 24 months, what would be the one thing that you would do differently, Armenak?
Anything that gives you fear of hurting anyone's feelings or just any fear of being transparent and you just choose to say, hey, let's not do this because this is going to happen, I would thrown that out the window and have done it anyway, because end of the day, if it's the right thing to do and it's going to benefit your company, do it and just be transparent about it. I think that's one of the main things I would do.
No, it's a great perspective. I think you're absolutely right. You know, sometimes people dance around and too scared to do things, will actually just get on with it is often the best course of action. It's a great answer.
Exactly.
So for Polo 4PL, we've talked about the journey you've been on and what those future steps are looking like. If people are super keen to get involved and find out more about Polo 4PL, Armenak, where can they get that information?
They could go to our website, POLO4PL.com. They could go onto our LinkedIn or Instagram as well. Facebook. We're on all the platforms. So we do have a blog, weekly blog, and newsletter email campaigns going out. I personally write them with the help of my marketing team, of course, and we just try to stay on top of the trends and what's going on in the market.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'll make sure that we include those links into the description of the podcast when it goes out. And thank you, Armenak, for great insights and your perspectives. It sounds as though Polo 4PL are on an incredible journey and expanding globally. So that's a fantastic thing. And thank you, everybody, for joining today, either listening or watching. Go check out Polo 4PL. They've obviously got great products and great offerings. Armenak, thank you again, and we'll see everybody else in the next episode.
Thank you, Adrian.